close जाएगा ना.
दस, साढ़े दस. So now we are going to see the C++ basics, and we already covered the introduction part, data type, variables, operators. Now we are going to see the basic input output. So basic input output in C++. In C++, data is read and write using streams, which are sequence of bytes. Input streams. Data follows from device like a keyboard to the computer memory. Output stream. Data follows from memory to an output device like screen. These streams are defined in a IO stream header file. That's why we define it as a stream. The most common stream objects are cin for taking input, cout for displaying output. Standard output stream cout. Cout is an instance of the OStream class used to display output on the screen. Data is sent to the cout using the insertion operator. This, so we can see here output, here printing the given text using cout, so it will return this output. So a standard input stream cin is an instance of the in each stream class used to read input from the keyboard. धीरे धीरे कर. The extraction operator is used. This is the insertion operator and this is the extraction operator. Extraction operator is used within cin to get data from the input stream and store in a variable. So this is cin is used to take the user input from the keyboard, from the user through keyboard. Taking input from the user to store in a variable cin, like is a what, a variable. So we can take here the value of age to store in this age variable by using the cin input. Cout is the standard stream, but it gives the output. It displays the message that we want to print. Unbuffered standard error stream, C-error. C-error is a standard error stream used to display the error message. It's an instance of the OStream class. CER displays message immediately without waiting on buffered output, useful for showing error or warnings separately from the normal program output cout. Unlike cout, which may delay output due to the buffering, CR ensures errors are seen instantly. Note the main difference between the CR and the cout comes when you would like to redirect output using cout, that gets redirected to the file. If you are CR, the error doesn't get stored in a file. This is what unbuffered means. It can't store the message. So display the error. So when we print out the CR, it don't store in the memory mainly, in the storage area. So it is only used to show the errors. Buffer extender, error stream, clog. Clog is a extender logging stream used to display error or log messages. Clog is a standard logging stream used to display the error or log messages. It is an instance of the OStream class like share. Messages are first stored in a buffer and displayed only when the buffer is full or explicitly flushed using plus buffered output. Useful for logging messages that does not need to appear immediately or on the screen, unlike CR output from clog may be delayed due to the buffering. So that's about the basic input output. Now we are going to see the control flow in the C programming. So control flow streams in programming. Control flow refers to the order in which statements within a program executed, while programs typically follow a sequential flow from top to bottom. These are the scenarios where we need more flexibility. This article provides a clear understanding about the everything you need to know about the control flow statements. Table for content. What the control flow statement in programming. Type of the control flow statement in programming. Conditional statement in programming, looping statement in programming, jump statement in programming. What are the control flow statement in the programming? First question. Next we will see the types of. So control flow statement are the fundamental component of the programming languages that allows developers to control the order in which instructions are executed in a program. They enable execution of the block of code multiple times, execute a block of code based on condition, terminate or skip the execution of certain line of the code, etc. Type of control flow statement in a programming. So control flow statement types: conditional statements, looping statement. So in the conditional statement we see if else switch, and in the looping statement for while do while, and in the jump statement we see break, continue, return, go to. So there are mainly three types of control flow statement that decide the flow of control in any. So firstly conditional, if else, looping statement, for while do while, and jumping, break, continue, return, go to. So in this time we just use the break, continue and return. That is the most use jump statement, and go to is being used all time, but this time it is not preferred to use. So we can see one by one description about the if else. Executes a block of code if the specific condition is true or another block of condition is false. So in this like this condition we can use the if else condition. Suppose if we have condition for the uh, eligible for vote or not, so we can use this statement there. Switch case, switch and the case of different in switch, evaluates the variable to express the execution code based on matching cases. Suppose we have to display the grade of different student in a class, so we can use the switch case. Or we have to display the different days of the month, we can use switch case. Also by using switch case we can create the easy quiz of different options. So this is the use of these two conditional statement. If we come to the 4, execute a block of code a specific number of times, typically iterating over a range of values, while execute a block of code as long as a specified condition is true. And while execute a block of code once and then repeat the execution as long as a specified condition is true. So we will also see the difference between while and do while. So there is a little difference. while क्या करता है कि कंडीशन को एक बार बस शो करता है। अगर while का दिया रहेगा तो यहाँ पे दिखा सकता हूँ ये किसका है, if का है, if else का है, if else का है। while और do while का देखना है ना, स्विच कैसे तो है while। सो while में क्या है, यहाँ पे शुरू में कंडीशन है। यहाँ पे डिफाइन क्या है, वेरिएबल को लोकली डिफाइन किया गया है और यहाँ पे कंडीशन दिया गया है इस वेरिएबल के लिए कि ये क्या होना चाहिए, हमेशा 5 से कम रहना चाहिए। तो ये जो कंडीशन दे रहे हैं यहाँ पे, और यहाँ पे इंक्रीमेंट ऑपरेटर, तो ये तो ठीक रहेगा यहाँ पे इंक्रीमेंट ऑपरेटर, बट ये कंडीशन जो है डू वाइल में वो चला जाएगा नीचे, यहाँ पे आ जाएगा बाहर में। सो इफ यू कम टू द डू वाइल, डू विल द हेयर एंड द ऑल द वाइल विद द कंडीशन इट विल कम आउट ऑफ द ब्लॉक ऑफ द कोड। ये जो ब्लॉक ऑफ कोड था उससे बाहर आ जाएगा वाइल और उसका कंडीशन, ठीक ना। तो ये चीज होता है, तो ये एटलीस्ट एक बार प्रिंट करता है कोड को डू वाइल। तो ये थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस आता है वाइल एंड डू वाइल में। और बाकी शब्द तो जानते हैं कि फॉर क्या करता है। आते हैं ब्रेक। टर्मिनेट द लूप ऑफ स्विच स्टेटमेंट एंड ट्रांसफर कंट्रोल टू द स्टेटमेंट इमीडिएटली फॉलोइंग द लूप और स्विच। ब्रेक क्या करता है कि टर्मिनेट करता है लूप को और स्विच स्टेटमेंट को। अगर ब्रेक नहीं देंगे तो डिफरेंट स्टेटमेंट रहेंगे ना किसी स्विच केस में, तो सारे के सारे स्टेटमेंट को प्रिंट करा देगा। तो इसलिए ब्रेक लगाना जरूरी होता है स्विच स्टेटमेंट में, ताकि हम जिस स्टेटमेंट को प्रिंट कराना चाहते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू आर रिक्वायरमेंट और कंडीशन, सो वो चीज हमें मिल सके। तो इसलिए ब्रेक स्टेटमेंट लगाया जाता है। कंटिन्यू स्टेटमेंट भी कुछ वही काम करता है, उसमें ब्रेक लगा देते हैं एक स्पेसिफिक के बाद, उसमें स्किप करके चला जाता है। स्किप द करेंट इटरेशन ऑफ द लूप एंड कंटिन्यूज विद द नेक्स्ट इटरेशन। एक स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट को स्किप करके आगे निकल जाता है। रिटर्न एग्जिस्ट ए फंक्शन एंड रिटर्न ए वैल्यू टू द कॉलर। Next, go to transfer control to the labeled statement within the same function. Go to is generally discouraged due to its potential for creating unreadable and error prone code. Conditional statement in programming. So one by one we are going to see with the code. So the conditional statement in programming are used to execute the certain block of code based on a specific condition. They are fundamental to decision making in programming. Here are some common types of conditional statement, like if statement in programming. The if statement is used to execute a block of code if the specified condition is true. Suppose IO stream using namespace int main if int type is a equal to 5, a equal to 5, then a is equal to 5. So a is equal to 5. uh, so this is if else if else a statement in programming, a statement used to execute one block of code if the specified condition is true and another block of code if the condition is false. So we can see here, if here a variable is declared, and for the if condition it is equal to 5, then is equal to 5, else it is not equal to 5. So it will print a is not equal to 5 because the condition is fulfilled by the else operator, else condition. If else if a statement programming, we can use several time of if. Here it is just being used at one time, but we can use this at several times. So the if statement used to execute a block of code if the specific condition is true, another block of code if another condition is true, and default block code of none of condition are true. Suppose a equal to 15, a is equal to 5, a is equal to 5, a is equal to 10, a equal to 10, not equal to 5 or 10. So a is not equal to 5 or 10, it is equal to 15. So इस तरह यूज कर सकते हैं टर्नरी ऑपरेटर और कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर इन प्रोग्रामिंग. हाँ, जैसा कि हमने कहा था कि इफ एल्स में देखेंगे टर्नरी ऑपरेटर जब हम ऑपरेटर देख रहे थे. इन सम प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस टर्नरी ऑपरेटर इज यूज्ड टू assign a value to a variable based on a condition. So it almost performs like a if else. So there is a variable a that is equal to 10, and see out we are just uh, in the ternary operator, we give the condition is equal to 5, then we have to print it is equal to 5, or else for the else condition, by having a colon we can give the else condition a is not equal to 5, so it is equal to 5, so it will print the a is equal to 5. So we can see here output a is equal to 5. So that's why in the previous section in which we discussed about the operator, I said if ternary operator almost works like if else a statement or if else uh, conditional statements. So switch statement in programming, uh, in language like C and C++, Java, switch statement used to execute one block of code for multiple options based on the values of expression. Suppose in this code, if we see there is a variable int a is equal to 15, and switch case a equal to a, switch case is here a, and different case 5, case 10, and a is equal to 5, then we break a is equal to 10, then break default condition a is not equal to 5 or 10. So when run we will run this, a is not equal to 5. Why a is not equal to 5? Because here we assign the is not equal to 5 or 10, because we assign the value of 15. So it goes to the case 1 this and check it, the a is 15, so no, it is 5. Here checked in the case 10, is a is equal to 15, no, it is 10, so it came to the default statement cout. It said a is not equal to 5 or 10, so that's why we got this statement here. Each programming language may have its own syntax and a specific version of these conditional statement. So we saw here we use the same conditional statements which in C, C++ and Java. So for this it can be different syntax, for the specific variety of uh, conditional statement. Looping statement in programming. Looping statement, also known as iteration or repetition statements, are used in programming to repeatedly execute a block of code. They are essential for programming tasks such as iterate, iterating over elements in a list, reading data from a file, or executing a set of instructions a specific number of times. Here are some common type of looping statement. So execution of a statement, instruction a specific number of times. So here is a for loop programming. The for loop is used to iterate over a sequence, that is a list, a tuple, a string, and a range, and the execute a block of code for each item is sequence in the sequence. So here we use the for loop, and we initiated it. This is the initialization part, this is the conditional part, and this is the termination part or the increment part. By using that we increment or we rerun this loop. So we initiated this loop by 0, and we provide the condition always I should be the less than 5, and it should be increment by 1. Fine. In cout I is less than endl1, returns 0 equal to 10. Fine, it will return 0 1 2 3 4 because less than 5 4. While loop in programming. The while loop is used to repeatedly execute a block of code as long as a specified condition is true. The while loop is used to repeatedly execute a block of code as long as a specific condition is true. जब तक कि स्पेसिफिक कंडीशन ट्रू ना हो जाए तब तक वाइल लूप को हम क्या करते रन करते हैं. तो इनिशियलाइजेशन के 0 से कंडीशन है कि ये लेस रहना चाहिए 5 से, और सी आउट काउंट डेल, और सो काउंट को हमने यहाँ पे कॉल किया, प्रिंट किया, और इट काउंट, और काउंट किया इसने कैसे बढ़ाया 0 1 2 3 4. So the functionality, the output will be the same, just the syntax are different for the different loop. And when we will come to the do while loop, so we can see here there was a while loop, but now in the do while loop here is do, and while loop is out of the block and with his condition. So firstly we call print the cout, it will print 0, then it will print the each and every number, increment with the increment 1, and it will print till the 4. So output will be the same for the each and every loop, but the syntax will be different. Nested loop in programming. Loop can be nested within one another to perform more complex iterations. For example, a for loop can be nested inside another loop to create a two-dimensional iteration. So we can see here for creating two-dimensional iteration. Suppose if we want to print the tables, so in that case we will use this type of nested loop. So for printing the table of certain number, then we will introduce like these loops. Each programming language may have its own syntax and a specific variety. This looping statement. Jump statement in programming. Jump statements in programming are used to change the flow of control with a program. They allow the programmer to transfer program control to different part of the code based on certain condition or requirements. Here are some types of jump statement. Break statement in programming. Break statement is primarily used to exit from the loop. A perma perme prematurely 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 uh, so premature without being mature. So the break statement primarily used to exit the loop prematurely when the in encountered inside the loop. It terminates the loop execution and transfer the control to the statement immediately following the loop. Hmm. Less than 10 if I is equal to 5 break. So as it comes to the 1 2 3 4 and 5, then it break it. So that is the functionality of break. Let's go out I share we will get conditional statement in programming. The conditional statement is used to skip the current. Continue statement is used to skip the current iter- iter- iteration of a loop and proceed to the next iteration. So we can see here in this for loop, if I modular 2 equal to 1, continue. So it is the saying that we have to skip the odd numbers and we have to print out the just even number. So that's why we got here the even number. So by using if condition, we can, after using if condition, we can declare the continue as well as break. So both are the best condition for continue and break. Return statement in programming. The return statement used to exit the function and optionality return a value to the caller. So this is the boolean is even int n return equal to 0 int man int n equal to 5 if is even n the out n is even if else n is odd return 0. N is odd because we put it 5. It is mainly used to exit the function and optionally return a value to caller. Return value. Go-to statement in programming. Some programming languages support the go-to statement, which calls transforming control to labeled statement within the same function or block of code. However, the use of go-to is generally discouraged due to its potential for the creating under readable and under maintainable code. So using namespace std. So in I equal to loop starts and go to loop start here. So it means that you have to uh, start the functionality from here and end it to here. So that's why it is printed this statement. So I got it a thing that is that firstly I want to come to the switch case. Where is the switch case? There was a thing that I said to you. There was a thing that was mentioned here in C, like in language like C and C++ and Java. The switch statement is used to execute a block of code for multiple options and based on values and expression. So switch case in C language seems like this. uh, so there is major difference: printf. So in the case of cout, in the C we will use the printf and all remains are same. In Java, oh, Java is quite different. Oh, system.out.println and C sharp we write console dot write dot line, and in JavaScript we will write it console.log for printing values. So that's why I am using this type of material, that way that so that we can see the different version, different flavor, the any uh, like this manageable contents. So now we are going to start the next section, that is loop in C++. We already discussed, but here we can see all in a more wider sense how it actually performs. So we can see here breakout, skip a particular iteration. So let's start from here. In C programming, sometimes there is need to perform some operation more than once. So a number of times, for example, suppose we want to print hello world 5 times manually. We have to write C statement 5 times shown using namespace std int main out hello 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 hello. Some are manageable, right? Let's say you have write 20 times, you will sure take more time to 20 statement. But now imagine you have to write 100 times. If you would to be really hectic to rewrite the same statement again and again. In such cases, loop comes into play, allowing user to repeatedly execute a block of a statement and any number of times. So if you want to print the 5 times, you can use the 5. If you want to print the 10 times, you can use 10 or 100 or 1000 or lakh. In the above program, we use one of the loop, write hello 5 times. You can see how much code reduce. The same line of code can write the word 20 or 100 times. Different types of loop. C++ provide 3 types of loop that works the same but performs different use cases. For loop, the for loop is an entry control loop, which means that it checks the whether the test condition is true before executing the statement inside it. Syntax for the for loop: initialization, condition, and updation. Update, how we update to the new value. Body for the loop: the various part of the for loop are initialization. Initialization initialize the variable to some initial value. Test condition: the specific the test condition. If the condition evaluates the true, then the body of the loop is executed. If the evaluated false, loop is terminated. Update expression: after the execution of the loop's body, this expression increment decrement a loop variable by some values. All these together used to create a logic and flow of the loop. So we can see all of these in the single line. For loop that starts with I equal to 1 and ends with I is greater than 5. So this is the initialization, this is the condition, and this is the updation part. Cout I will print the this whole loop that is defined in this for section. So it will less than equal to 5, so it has printed all 5 numbers. There is a type of for loop that does not need and condition and updating a statement is called range based for loop, and it can be only used for the irritable objects such as vector set etc. Flowchart of loop. So how initialization, then it goes to the condition says whether it is true or false. If it is false, the end. If it is true, the statement will be the print, and then it will goes to the increment and decrement operator for the again updation. Again it will become to the loop and it will says condition, I am fulfilling the condition, fine. So again print this statement, then again and again it will print unless or until this statement will not becoming false. Hmm. While loop. The while loop is also an entry control loop. Entry control loop means what? The condition is being checked at the entry level. Hmm. So the while loop is also an entry control loop which used to situation where we do not know the exact number of iteration or the loop beforehand. In for loop, we have seen that the number of iteration is known for head beforehand. That is the number of times the loop body is needed to be executed is known to us, and we create the condition on the basis of it. But while loop execute it slowly based on the condition. So we can see while condition, body of the loop, update expression. So here we write the condition. So easily we can see in this, here is a while loop and condition is defined here. Here is the print statement that we want to print, and this is the updation part. below the update part. No, a statement. So for the start condition checking, if it is true, print the statement and come to the again for checking the condition. If it is false, exit. Do while loop. Do while loop is an exit control loop, not the entry control loop, which means the condition is checked after the executing the body of the loop. So in the do while loop, the loop body will be execute at least once, irrespective of the test condition. So we can see the syntax of do while loop. This is the body of the loop, and update expression will be the below that, and here is the condition, while condition. So like while loop, only the condition is part of the do while loop syntax. We have to do the initialization updation of the loop variable mutually, and we can see we have initialized the this loop. And if we come here, do condition, there is a statement in this, and update condition is here, and the actual condition is here. So fine, output is here. Remember the last semicolon at the end of the loop. Yeah, we'll provide the semicolon. Start. Firstly, check the condition. Start and print the statement. It will be the start and print the statement. So, and then it will check condition. If the condition will be the true, it will come and again print the statement, and then go to the check condition. If the condition is false, then it will be the int. For each loop, there the for each loop in C++ range based for loop. It automatically it iterates over each element of the uh, container or array using the containers begin and end functions eternally. Use of reference versus value. By value for auto it array work on a copy. Modification won't affect the original. By reference for auto it array, you can modify the element directly. I want to understand this. Range based for loops. Infinite loop. The loop that never ends. Nesting of loop. Already we have checked it, seen it. Loop control statement. Break. Continue. And, and, and in the next section, we will discuss about the function. One of the most important point. uh, Function. So much it is. Not longer. We can see this. See this. See this. See this. See this. So function in C++. Function is a reusable block of code. No. style. Function is a reusable block of code designed to perform a specific task. It helps break large program into the smaller logical part. Functions make code cleaner and easier to understand and more maintainable. Just like another language, C++, function can take input called parameter, execute a block of a statement, and optionally return result. C++ also support advanced feature like function overloading and default arguments. Inline functions, which give more flexibility compared to C. So we can see here a function definition where we are defining the hello function in which there is a hello message, and return type function is defined here. There is another one more function, that is a square, and in the main function we are calling the void function, that is hello, and this is the return type function, because here we already use int and here void, so this will not return anything and this will return, so we called it the void function. Int result is square 5. We also called the int function and print the square of 5 result will be the Greek for Greek and the square will be the 25. In the above example, there are three functions. Main function is the entry point of the every C++ program. When the program runs, execution start from the main function. It contains the calls to the other function. Hello function is the user defined function that does not take any parameters and does not return a value. It simply prints gigs for gigs to the console. The return type void indicates that it does not return anything. A square int x function. This is another user-defined function that takes an integer as input and returns the square of the number. The return type int means the function will return an integer value. Int main, the function is called with the value 5 and the returned result is stored in a variable and printed. Why use function? Use function in offer several advantages that improve the structure and the quality of the code. First, avoid the repetition. Write once, use many times. Readable code, break logic into clear steps. Easy debugging, isolate a fix issues faster. Modular design, divide big problem into parts. Simpler testing, check each part independently. डिफरेंट पार्ट होते हैं किसी भी फंक्शन के. डिक्लेरेशन होता है, डिफिनेशन होता है और कॉलिंग होता है. 3 पार्ट होता है, तो डिफरेंट पार्ट को हम बारी बारी से चेक कर सकते हैं. टाइम फ्रेंडली, मल्टीपल पीपल कैन वर्क इन पैरेलल. डिफरेंट डोमेन पर किसी भी फंक्शन के बड़ा काम है तो बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है तो. अंडरस्टैंडिंग फंक्शन स्ट्रक्चर एंड uses. To work with function in C++, it is important to understand how they are written, declared and called. This section covers function syntax, declaration versus definition, and how to call function in program. Function syntax in C++. In a function, C++ allows this general format: return type, function name, parameter list, and here the body of the function. Each part of the specific role, return type, specifies what type of value the function returns. Using void, there is no return value. Function name, the name you will use to call the function. Parameter list, input the functions accept. Input that the function accepts. It can be empty if no input are needed. function body, the block of code that runs when the function is called. Function declaration versus definition. Function declaration introduce the function to compiler. It tells the compiler the return type name and parameter but does not include the body. It ends with a semicolon. So we can see here the declaration. Introduce the function to the compiler. I have already said that किसी भी इंसान को पहली बार बुलाना और उसको परिचित कराना क्या कहलाता है? डिक्लेरेशन कहलाता है. हमने डिक्लेयर किया, आपका परिचय कराया, कंपाइलर से परिचय कराना फर्स्ट बार किसी भी फंक्शन को क्या कहलाता है? Declaration. Function definition provides the actual implementation of the function. मतलब आप क्या क्या काम करेंगे, आपका फंक्शन क्या है, आप किस चीज को परफॉर्म करने के लिए बुलाए गए हैं, तो उस फंक्शन को डिफाइन करना, डिफिनेशन बताना, तो ये कहलाता है डिफिनेशन पार्ट. Declaration is useful when function is defined later in the code in a separate file. Why is declaration needed in C++? In C++, function is defined after the main function or any other function that tries to use the compiler will not recognize, and unless the declaration is provided earlier in the code. This declaration tells compiler about the function name, return type, and the parameters in advance. Function declarations are especially useful in the large programs where functions are defined later in the file or separate source file. By declaring the function before its use, the compiler can ensure the function is called correctly. In simple terms, the declaration introduces the function to be compiler while the definition provides the actual implementation. Calling a function. Once function is defined, you can use it simply calling the following by parenthesis. This tells the program to execute code inside the function. If the function takes parameters, you pass the required value inside the parenthesis. If it doesn't take any parameters, you just use empty parameters. So we can say here there is a word, a greet function, that is where it is defined. Without definition, directly declaration, not definition, without declaration. So in this, welcome to the C++ programming. Int multiply, there is another one function with the parameter, and int main, we can call the discrete function for printing this message yellow one, and int result multiply 4 and 7 for the multiplying the value of a and b, that is called in this section. So and we can print the result value, so it will display the multiplication of both. So welcome to the C programming, multiplication of result 20. So in the above example, two functions are defined and called. Greet function, this function does not take any parenthesis, does not return the value. In it simple prints the welcome message. It is called the main using greet. Multiply int and int b function. This function takes two integers as input, multiplies them and return the result. In main, it is called with the value 4 and 5, and the returned value is stored in the variable result, which is then printed. Function call allows you to return reuse code is easily. You can call the same function multiple times with the different inputs, performs repeated tasks in a structured and a clean way. Type of functions in C. In C++, function can be broadly categorized based on two categories. Based on origin, library function. These are built-in functions provided by the C+ standard libraries such as cout, square root, and abs, getline. You can use them to including appropriate header like iostream, cmath, and string. User-defined function. These are the functions created by the programmer to perform a specific task in the program based on the input or the return type. User-defined function can be further classified based on the whether they accept parameter or return a value. No parameter, no return type. The function performs task but does not take input in the return anything. The parameters with the no return value. This function takes input but does not return a result. No parameters, return value. This function return a result but does not take any input. Parameters and return value. The function takes input and returns a result. This type helps you design function according to the task and they need to perform, choosing a right for the improve code flexibility and clarity. Parameters and or arguments. A function can also take some input data to process. These values are called functions. Argument. This and are supplied to function at the function call. To receive this value, we define placeholder variables called parameters. Inside the parentheses in this. In function definition, they should be specified with their type and name. Int, int a, int b. Function body return value. Name1, name2 also, and so on. The parameters will be assigned to the function. Example, we can see here where it is assigned int n. So in the above program, print number function is defined with the integer parameter n, and it means it will take the one value of integer type while the calling, and print it will call print number two times, one with the number 1 and one with the number 2, and in the each call prints the given number. Note, we refers to the pass argument using the name in or number and scope of variables. Specified completely pass them the calling and also lambda function. What is that lambda function? Lambda function, C++ function declaration defines a global scope of class scope which can be used for the short snippets of the code that are not going to be reached, therefore do not require the name. These are the mostly HTTP. So you can read this and understand this. So in the next section we will cover the array, and then we will start the core concept, that is pointer and new deletion operator, templates, structure union, headline, handling multiple labels. So can we introduce this part without so firstly, after covering this basic part, we will come to the oops part, because in the morning I will cover this part, oops part. Firstly I will cover array, then oops. So fine, that's all I have for today. Thank you very much to all.